Look at this day. It's so beautiful. I've already been down on the beach this morning, but thought I might head down again. If someone wants to join me, we can go for a stroll. Maybe we'll just start strolling. Someone's arrived. Awesome. You ready to go to the beach, lurking person? I get people messaging me when I go live, and then I stop being live. And nobody wants to chat. Oh well, we've got one lurker. Might as well take you for a stroll. This day today is kind of like what I call an echidna day, because I've got a little echidna that comes to my house not every day but most days, providing it's a sunny day. It walks along the track which goes down to the beach, which runs in front of my house. Oh, Joey the Veg, you're shitting me. Oh my god, hello. Where the fuck have you been? You're one of my OGs. In fact, the very, no you haven't, and you're very missed. Your name has popped up in other channels too. Well, at least I think Mel's. We have queried the whereabouts of Joey the Veg Wilson. You're my, one of my beach therapy OGs. You and Shanna that day, just the three of us. Remember that? Went for a stroll on the beach. Wasn't even, it'd be over a year because, well, like it's just, maybe around a year. So yeah, you're always very, very special to me. And I didn't obviously go down the Builder YouTube channel, go nuts about true crime as rapidly as I had expected, because I've had a year bookended with the deaths of two incredibly close girlfriends and a whole lot of weird shit in the middle. But getting back on track with everything, and so excited about 2020, not only a new year but also a new decade. And 2020 sounds so cool because, I mean, growing up, all the books that we read, the movies and TV shows, 2020 was that futuristic date that just seemed so far in the future, like especially as a kid in the 70s. 2020 just seemed like forever away, and here it is, almost on our doorstep. Oh, thank you, Joe. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know anyone that's had a good 2019. And look, I'm realistic about life. Life, every year there's going to be really good things that happen. There's going to be sad things that happen. But this year has just tested everyone that I know. There isn't anyone in my life that I love who hasn't had a really difficult year. And some years are more difficult than others. It's just interesting that this year has just wiped so many people. Hi Dover 4, I've missed you too. This is awesome. This is awesome, little gang. I normally go live a bit earlier on the beach because I went to the beach this morning because I'm trying to lose some weight, aren't we always? But I wanted to do like a full-on, I do these very embarrassing sort of beach walks that are kind of semi-jogging and then sprinting and then walking kind of stuff. Kylie, hello. All these cool people coming in. I'm happy. So yeah, hi Gary. I'm happy because I got to do that walk this morning. Hard year. It is adulting, and yeah, every year does seem to get harder. What am I up to? Taking you to the beach. Oh, Dover, you're gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you. I must admit, I'm really happy that my slightly not abandoned but often ignored channel is just sort of where it really was at the start of the year. I mean, I kind of went backwards a little bit and then did a thing about Chris Watts, that bloody Letters to Christopher book, and I think I got about 30 subs out of that, and I'm like, okay. So that's what you got to do. You've just got to talk about fucking Chris Watts still if you want your channel to grow. So I'm kind of pleased that mine's still where it is. But I really appreciate you doing that, Dover, and I have got plans for 2020 with my channels. I just felt this year, for the most part, it started with me falling out with some online friends who really mattered to me, and it really affected me. But then around the same time, I also lost a real life, very close, very precious friend. And I just had a shift in perspective. I'd got caught up in the whole YouTube world, which is kind of why I've put this heading. Did get a little bit caught up in the whole YouTube world, and Julie's death made me realise that, you know, reconnecting and spending time with everyone, not just your online buddies, but, you know, your family and your friends are so important. But I also had some serious health issues this year, and as a result of them, I was actually fairly isolated, which is why I would go down to the bluff. Oh, there's a lot of people down there. Looks like there's a surf school happening. Oh my God, Chris Watts, what's the fascination? I know so much more has happened since. I think it's because people keep putting shitty books out, and there's a Lifetime movie coming out, I think on the 15th of January, which luckily for Australia we won't get it till like 2029 or something. We'll go this way. It's okay. Dover, you know, I mean, I'm over 50, so I've got a lot of friends that have started to lose parents, and I've also got a lot of friends who've started to die as well. And I've had a lot of death in my life. I'm very oh, there's a chick up here sunbaking in the spot that I like to sit in when I come down here. I just spotted a dog, and I'm like, oh, that dog's just sitting there on its own. But no, there's some sunbaking going on. I might just put my water bottle and shoes over this side. But yeah, look, I mean, the fact of life is, if you're alive, you're going to die, right? And if you know people who are alive, they're going to die too. It's not that I'm cold about it, I'm practical about it, but it's hard when you lose really close friends, especially, you know, 2 in a year. But I mean, I've got friends that have had way more tragic, you know, friends have had way more tragic years than me. One of my closest friends, her mother, who was terminally ill, passed away, and her father, not long after her mum's funeral, was given 3 to 7 days to live with leukemia. So she lost both of her parents in like a matter of weeks. The same thing happened to another girlfriend of mine. She lost both of her grandparents in a couple of weeks, you know. So I mean, it's just part of life. We are going to lose people we love, but some years are, you know, they hurt more. And I mean, a couple of years ago I had 6 friends die within a period of 5 weeks. Well, not just friends, I mean, some of them were aunties and, you know, godmothers and people that were very important in my life, and that, I thought that was a really shitty year. But this year, sort of having a bookend with Julie at the start and then Lou at the end of the year is all a bit much. Badger Mayhew, hello. Dover, I just turned 46, the transition's a trip. Oh shit, yeah, I hear you on the buying clothes things. And I'm not going to be one of those horrible assholes that goes, wait till you're over 50. But wait till you're over 50. There's a new thing in my world called a menopausal belly or gut, and I'm not wearing elasticized pants because Seinfeld used to say that's a sign that you've given up, but I do wear jeggings, which are sort of elasticized pants. What was I just saw before? Driver 4, were you saying something about I've been doing a live here and there? Oh my gosh, I got my husband on panel the other day. Okay, well when I get back up to the house, I'm going to make sure that I'm sub to you. Hi Planet Sunshine, I'm usually silent. Well, thank you for saying hello. I used to live in Melbourne. Oh, groovy. Your friend was called Julie. My sister Julie died this... Oh no, I agree with everything you're saying about life and death. Thank you, Planet Sunshine. And I'm so sorry to hear about you losing your sister, because having lost both of my parents, my siblings, my brother and my sister are so important to me, and I actually live in a state of fear about losing a sibling. I can't even fathom it. So my heart really goes out to you, because, yeah, I know it's going to happen. I sort of hope that I go before them so I don't get to find out what it's like, if that makes sense. Without being, sounding fatalistic or anything, but I can't imagine. I'm so sorry for you. Yeah, the holidays are going to be tough for them, Dover, and tough for so many people. I mean, my grandmother's brother died at Christmas time when he was relatively young, and it certainly impacted her and how she looked at Christmas. So my mum didn't have the most joyful Christmases, I guess, growing up, so that made her determined to make ours over the top, and we used to have the most incredible Christmases. And then after Mum died, it just wasn't the same, and it's got to the point where, like, if we're all at home at the same time, we'll have something down at my place down here, and we'll spend the day on the beach. This year I think it's going to be just me and my sister, again probably just hanging out on the beach, but I'm really looking forward to it. But it's such a hard time for people this time of year, it really is. But I'll probably go live on Christmas Day, because I'll be walking on the beach in the morning. And like I said, my sissy might come down and hang out with me during the day. She might stay the night, but we're not planning on... I've been invited to a few places for Christmas, but I really just want to have a low-key Christmas with her. And she's just been on an amazing 3-week trip to New Zealand, and then they set sail on a Russian icebreaker from New Zealand to head to Macquarie Island, which is between Tasmania and Antarctica, stopping at all kinds of islands on the way. So it's really lovely to have her home safe, and it'll be nice to just spend some time with her. Oh my God, there's Barry. There's Barry the seagull, for those of you who follow my channel. There's Bazza. Soon we'll find Shazza. Shanna Banana, hello, I love you too. It is beautiful scenery. It's a gorgeous day here today. We've already hit our maximum temperature though. It's meant to get to 21 degrees, that's it today, and it is already 21, but I'm in like a little short skirt and singlet top. Like, it's warm. The sun down here is very warm. You can fit in the junior sizes, but you're not a junior. Wow, Dover, good for you. Excellent. Shanna's rocking some elastic waisted pants. And Shanna's tiny. Shanna's about the size of one of my legs. So that makes me feel good. Sending lots of love and hugs right back to you, Shanna. Judy Ron, hello. G'day, Groover. It is beautiful down here today. It is. Oh, look, Judy Ron, you've got Dover 4 fangirling, and Shanna Banana. Oh, Joey, I am so sorry to hear about your brother. You poor thing. Oh, and after what I was just saying about losing siblings, how's timing? Like I was saying, I can't even imagine what that must feel like for you, but sending you so much love. What a difficult thing to have to do, and unfortunately at this time of year, it's going to mean every year it's going to be such a you know, so many mixed emotions. I mean, I've got 3 terminally ill friends at the moment, and one of them is very close to dying, unfortunately, and she's a very, very close friend of my best friend, and I'm keeping an eye on him because it's breaking him. But we were talking about it the other day, and just, you know, that this time of year is always going to be so difficult for her children, and she's aware of that too. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's never a good time of the year to lose a parent, but the thing is, there's just such a hype over Christmas, which that's the subject for another live. You know, there's such a build-up, and you just can't get away from it. I mean, there's bloody Christmas decorations in shops in October as soon as Halloween's over, which is so weird in Australia, because Halloween, I mean, it's happening here, but it's not that big a deal, not like in the States. But yeah, as soon as those pumpkins are taken out of the shop, there's Christmas decorations, and so you've just got that in your face for a long time. I have the same issue with Mother's Day with my mum. The amount of marketing and advertising and stuff that goes on leading up to Mother's Day, it's just like a constant reminder. I think we've got a little surf school happening down here, which is pretty cute. And also the nippers, the little guys that are learning how to become surf life rescue kiddos. That's the thing, with all these sad things that happen, life goes on too, you know, and, you know, we've got all these little groovers out in the ocean learning how to become proficient surfers and little lifesavers. It's pretty cute. But I'm really, really sorry to hear that, Joey. Lots of love from me and everyone in here. Judy Ron, did Makeup Mobster get in touch with you, sir? No, says Judy Ron. I hope that the farewell for your brother on Friday, Joey, I hope that while it will be sad, that you also have lots of smiles and laughs as well. So one thing I really do like about funerals, and people are probably going to watch this later and go, she's demented, she likes funerals. But having just been to my beautiful friend Lou's funeral only a couple of weeks ago, and to quote Still Magnolias, laughter through tears is the greatest emotion. To truly honour someone's life and farewell them, but have laughs as well, because that's what they'd want, you know. And I know that's a cliche, but it's fucking true. I don't want people to just be sombre and morose when I go. I want them to laugh. And I prefer them to laugh more than cry. So what Lou did, and Lou was a hoot, she had the BBC Night at the Proms doing Jerusalem, if any of you know that amazing song. And because it was BBC's Night at the Proms, the English version, it was so heartbreaking. And that was the last song before her committal. And then we were all invited to walk behind her coffin, which was actually wicker. It was like a massive wicker basket. It was stunning. And they were loading it up into the hearse. So as soon as Night at the Proms Jerusalem ended, Another One Bites the Dust by Queen kicked in, and it made everyone laugh their heads off, and we're like, yay, Lou got the last laugh. It was really lovely. But then there were 2 more laughs. The hearse did 2 wheelies trying to get out of the driveway. Picture a gravel driveway with a steep hill. Yep. So not only did Lou have Another One Bites the Dust, but yeah, the hearse did a couple of burnouts as well. It was spectacular. I am happy for I love you, Judy Ron. They found out who's been making the cop calls. She included as called on. She too lives in New York. Hi Beth M, beautiful girl, how are you? Yeah, the cop calls. I guess so, in a way. That's really sweet of you, Judy Ron, and you and Dover 4 can hook up about that offline, off here for sure. But just on that, I guess in terms of the topic I chose for this little beach therapy stroll, you know, what has YouTube taught you this year? I'm keen to see how people feel about YouTube. For me, I've questioned it, and I've been hurt because I discovered YouTube, but I've also experienced great joy. I've met some beautiful people that will be in my life forever. Some I can't wait to actually meet up with for real and hang out with. But yeah, I've also experienced a level of nastiness and confusion that I've never experienced in my life before. So there's sort of, to me, YouTube's been a bit of a double-edged sword, because when I first discovered people were going on live on YouTube, I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And you can go in and chat to them and ask questions, and Judy Ron, you were one of the first people that I'd be, you know, jumping in to ask questions, because you were one of the few creators when I first discovered YouTube who really engaged with their conversation and their chat. And I don't know if you remember it, but we, you and I chatted on our own for a little while one night. I think you'd had a blackout and you were waiting for the sun to come up and the power to go back on, or I feel bad, I can't remember the actual scenario now. But eventually a few more people came into it. There were only like 5 of us, but it was a really good chat. I guess that's another thing YouTube has taught me, is that the creators, no matter what they're talking about or even what their personalities are like, if they engage with their chat and their mods keep everything on topic and the chat is lively and fun, I will always watch those creators. But the creators who have chat with, I'll give you an example. The other day, Lish, the Dish with Lish, was telling her story about Oni, and she had One Smart Cookie on the panel as well, and they were sharing their stories, but the chat was completely derailed with people in there making fun of it, completely unrelated to anything to do with this YouTube creator. And the mods were doing an okay job, but there were so many people that were just bitching about this other guy, and I was like, I was basically there to listen to Lish's story, so I stopped reading chat and just got on with doing cleaning and cooking, and because I just wanted to hear their story. And I've seen that happening in a lot of different channels, where there are people that just bring up creators, even if the creator that's live is talking about how to bake an apple pie. The chat's, you know, people all bitching about other creators. That's the thing that YouTube's taught me. How disrespectful. It's kind of like, to me, it's a bit like wearing a t-shirt for Nirvana when you go to see a Pearl Jam concert. No, that's not a good example, but I hope you know what I'm saying. Like, show some respect for the creators and also the people on panel. I really love the channels where, you know, there's 2 sort of people on YouTube that may not necessarily be best of mates, but they're having a crack at conversation. Shit, man, I've lost my son. No, I haven't. I'll look at the chat in a minute. It's kind of a walk and talk and then read chat. Yeah, when you've got a couple of creators that have kind of been, not enemies or anything like that, but, you know, there's been a bit of tension between them, and they're finally up on panel together. I love watching that stuff. I love seeing if there's any kind of reconciliation or, you know, agree to disagree going on. Hey, puppy. Gorgeous dog. But, you know, then you've got people in the chat, including sometimes mods of that channel, bitching about someone up on panel. So rude. So, yeah, I guess for me, YouTube's been entertaining. It was eye-opening in terms of that platform even existing. But I guess the negatives for me have been, I've seen some really nasty stuff. And it's confused me because it's kind of people just airing their dirty laundry. They're not fighting about anything that really matters. They're just bitching about each other. And I still can't get my head around why that is still going on. Like, it goes back to that whole, you know, if you're listening to a song you don't like on the radio, change channels. Or another analogy I thought this morning was when you go to a restaurant, you're given the menu, it's quite unlikely that every single dish on that menu is going to appeal to you. And even if it does, you've still got to choose the dishes you want to eat. You're not going to eat the whole friggin' menu. And it doesn't matter that there's an olive tapenade that you can't think of anything more repugnant. You're not going to eat it. So YouTube's a bit the same. Like, if there's a channel that's kind of like olive tapenade to me, I'm not going to watch it. And I know that I'm not the only person who's talked about this topic. I think it's confused a shitload of us. I think, is this Bazza or Shazza? Might be Bazza. The way he's shaking his little tush. That's something I learned from Robbie. Also, because of YouTube, I now say I don't give a flying flip. I used to say I don't give a flying fuck. But now I say I don't give a flying flip. That's thanks to Sandy Ruchek, Shanann's mother. Alright, I might stop and see what you guys have all gained. Hang on, I'll come up here and have a sit so I can have a proper read and chat. Blue Topaz is in here. Hello, my God, how are you? How are you? And how's New Zealand doing? What a shitty time your country's had. My sister's just been there though. She had a ball. A ball. Okay, let's see what's going on in the chat. No need to apologise at all, Dover 4. I'm down with all conversations. I see where Judy Ron was coming from too, which was very sweet. You're all so lovely. Joey, YouTube has taught me not to get caught up in drama on lives, and now it's showing me. Oh, it's showing you. You've only just discovered Russell Brand because of YouTube. Well, welcome. He is awesome and entertaining. I do hope you're well, Blue Topaz. Haven't seen you forever. Dover 4, come on and lurk. Don't chat in many chats. Yes, the art of restraint. I did discover earlier this year, Dover 4, that I'd spent too much time actually sitting at channels, watching it and reading chat, and then I'd get to the end of the day and I'd be like, oh my God, I didn't put that washing out, I haven't done the dishes. So a few months ago, the rule was with YouTube, if it wasn't a chat that I wanted to go in and have fun in, because I mean, I used to try to just go in and be funny and make people laugh, but so many of the things have been so serious that it's, you know, timing is everything. So I just put my Bluetooth headphones on now and I listen while I'm pottering around, and I'm getting so much more stuff done at home. But when I was quite sick and I wasn't really very energetic and, you know, couldn't do a lot, it was a great thing to watch and keep myself entertained. But I just cast it onto my TV from my phone, and again, I wasn't really participating in chat because it was all up on the screen. But I did quite enjoy just having it as background noise. And I don't know about you guys, but I've got my YouTube set on autoplay, and I've discovered so many incredible channels and so many shitty ones too, I might add, just from letting YouTube autoplay. I started hanging out in some different communities about 4 months ago, and I'm still really enjoying them because I'll go into chat and I don't recognise one name in there, and there's all these people with common interests, and, you know, happy little playgrounds do exist. But yeah, for a while there, YouTube was very time consuming, and, you know, at the end of the day, everyone's got their own opinions, and with the drama stuff and the bitching stuff, people are just going to take sides, and so many of them just stay on those sides. So what's the point in trying to convince someone that the creator's nicer than they think? Like, what's the point? It doesn't matter. I know who I like. I even watch some creators that I'm not overly fond of, but if they're good to their subs and they're interesting and entertaining, I'll have a crack. I might turn them up after 10 minutes, but I certainly have tried all things on the menu, except the olive tapenade. Sometimes you go into a channel and you're like, nah, it's olive tapenade, not touching it. Beth, I can't believe Makeup Mods is having trouble getting her call from the police. Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of can, Beth M, because did you hear her say, I don't know when it was, but in one of her lives she said that when she contacted the police, and I think she said her husband did as well, they were kind of like, so what? And not in a we don't give a shit kind of a way, but in a we get 100 of these calls every day sort of thing. So, I mean, I think, you know, we don't have a police department in Australia that comes close to the size of the New York Police Department, the NYPD. Ron can probably give us an estimate of how many cops there are in the NYPD, but there wouldn't be anywhere in Australia of that size. And if you imagine they're getting 100 calls a day from people that are being doxed online, which I think that's why they've got that system set up that you need to subpoena it, because people that genuinely, legitimately want to know will spend the money getting it. Maybe the reason that's implemented there is because if they didn't have that system, they would spend all their time sending, you know, phone calls to people when they could actually be out on the streets doing their jobs. Do you know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? I think in the future there's going to be like cybercrime units and that's all they focus on, but I think at the moment, you know, it's a bit much to expect already very overworked and underpaid police departments to be spending their resources and energy on chasing down copies of phone calls. But that being said, I mean, that whole concept of people calling the cops on each other, that just doesn't happen in Australia. Well, not that I'm aware of. I'm not saying it's never happened, but it's not something I've ever heard of, and I work in the legal department, like legal field. I don't think any Australians could be bothered, but also for the most part we respect our, you know, our cops and our ambos and all of our sort of services that are looking after the public, CPS, the works, and we're aware of how underpaid and overworked they are. I don't think anyone would dare do it because we'd rather they're available for real life stuff. I mean, that's the thing I can't get my head around is all of these cop calls, like the time that those cops and CPS were doing their thing, someone else out there needing actual help was being neglected. Doesn't that make you feel sick? Joe, I just see your comment about Oni. There may be more discussion about it further in chat, but if you haven't found the channel Wendy V yet, and it's VEE, she's been the best thing for me for this year on YouTube, because she does these little videos on all the shit that's going on YouTube, sort of in our community, or, you know, one of the communities we wander around in. And I wish she'd been around forever. I wouldn't have spent hours sitting through. I don't think I've ever listened to a 7-hour live from start to finish, but I reckon I've been at the start and the end of a 3-hour live. But Wendy V kind of does really good little recap videos, and it's literally just what's been said on that live. There's no commentary from her. They're just like little abbreviated cliff notes of what happened. But I think you'll find a fair bit of the Oni stuff on her channel. They are rude. Wow, over 3K blocked. I'm trying to catch up with chat. I'm probably so far behind, everyone's left. Over 3K. Yeah, and you know what? I've blocked people and they know that they're blocked, and I've seen them talking about me blocking them in chat. And is it Venus? It's my new dog. I've got a new dog. That's fine. There's a rather fit shirtless Australian dude walking along now. Where's tell you who I also haven't seen, speaking of Beth, Maddie Beth. She used to be thirsty, wasn't she? She was thirsty for the Aussie lads. I was given a bit of shit for blocking some people in a chat, and I was sent screenshots of it. That's another thing too. Holy shit, YouTube. I've never had people sending me screenshots of anything in my life, but I'm never going to tell people not to do it if they want to. There's days that I just choose not to open up messages and emails that have got screenshots. But I mean, why give someone shit because you block them? Like, they've blocked you because you are being bitches in chat to them, or you're saying stuff that's not true or whatever. I mean, blocking's easy. Just block and then you don't have to think about it. And I don't think people should be given shit for utilising a feature that makes your life nicer. It makes no sense to me that you get criticised for having people blocked on your channel. I think he's actually a bit old for Maddie Beth, to be honest. Ouch, just got bitten. But yeah, I kind of feel like, well, if the feature's there and it makes your life easier, and you're not aware of people saying shitty things about you, then why wouldn't you use it? What you don't know won't hurt you, which is why being sent screenshots again, you know, like I don't know. I suppose when you're one of the bigger creators and you're getting bombarded with stuff, I get why they say just stop sending me this shit. But the thing that annoys me is the people that were giving me shit, who I blocked, I haven't done a single thing to them. Have not done a single thing to them. I had a falling out with someone they give a shit about, and so now I'm Satan, I guess. But I got sick of going into chats and being not bullied, but just given shit, so I blocked them. And now apparently, because I've blocked people who really had nothing to contribute to my life except negativity and criticism over nothing, apparently I'm the prick. But whatever, don't care. So many great people on YouTube that I do care about. I'd much rather my chat be filtered of all that crap so I can focus on the lovely people that are saying decent things and making a difference and caring about people. So yeah, that's another thing YouTube taught me. The block button is there to be used. I don't think I'll ever have 3K blocked, Judy Ron, but it's a goal. Judy Ron, my chat is run and policed by expert mods who I trust and give directions to. Yeah, and I think that's another thing too, Judy Ron. I think a lot of people don't give their mods a lot of guidance, and then you get these rogue mods that are all in chat with their wrenches bitching about another creator and not even listening to what the person they're modding for is talking about. That's the ultimate act of disrespect on YouTube as far as I'm concerned. If you've been appointed a mod, put your personal issues to one side and mod for that creator. And if you've got issues with people, go live on your own friggin' channel and talk about it. Seeing so much of that lately, mods that are just totally disrespectful of the person who's given them a wrench. They're not even listening to that person, nor are they watching the chat about the subject. They're just ganging up on someone who's got nothing to do with the subject matter. It blows my mind. It's so rude. And yet guaranteed, if anyone tried to do that in one of their channels, they'd probably get blocked, you know, within a minute of saying something. Double standards and hypocrisy of YouTube abound. But to me, it's more about respect, or the lack of respect. It's disgusting. Disgusting. And I don't know why they do it. I don't know if they think, oh, let's go to another channel that's got nothing to do with this person that we don't like and bitch about them on that new channel to a new crowd and hopefully convert people to thinking the way we do. Is that what they're hoping? I mean, the sad part of YouTube I've realised too is there are a lot of sheeple on there who don't question stuff. If they like a creator and that creator doesn't like someone else, it's almost automatic they're not going to like them. And I find that another thing about YouTube that confuses me is the lack of free thought on there. Independent thinking isn't really that prolific. But yeah, I think a lot of creators need to have a really long, hard think about some of their mods and get rid of the ones that are not respecting them and not doing their job. I mean, these mods that are bitching about other creators, I've seen them come into that chat. They don't even welcome people. They don't put other creators' links up if that's allowed on that channel. They're just straight into bitching about someone who's got nothing to do with that creator or the subject of that creator's life. It's a crapola. How you doing? Bye, Judy Ron. Have fun with Mrs. Judy Ron, and lots of respect and love to you. I think you might have already gone. Exactly, Blue Topaz. Log off, listen to music, dance and sing like no one's watching. And if you want to add a dirty bit at the end, fuck like you're being filmed. I don't even know who's in here. I'm way behind. Actually, what I'll do, I'll scroll to the bottom. Renee, hello. And then I'll go back up a bit. I'll buy beautiful Joey. She's probably gone. Joey, much love for you on Friday with farewelling your brother, and I hope that he's honoured with a lot of, you know, thoughtfulness and kindness, but also with a lot of laughter and smiles as well. Take care, beautiful girl. Kylie, you've never been blocked. Maybe because I'm not an asshat. Well, I have been blocked, and I mean, I'm a bit of a dickhead. Most people are. We're all capable of being wankers from time to time, but I haven't been an asshat specifically to those people. I just pissed off somebody that they mod for, so that means I'm entitled to be harassed by them. And it sucks because there was a point in time that those particular people were friends, I thought, and people that mattered to me. And you know, in my life, if I've got two friends who have a falling out, and it happens a lot, and I've had falling outs with friends, say, or you break up with somebody, does everyone write that person off, or do you still care about those two people even though they're in a bit of a bind? You know, it's strange. Again, it's just that fickle side of YouTube too. You see people telling each other that they love each other in chat one month, and the next month they're all at each other's throats. It's like people fall in love with each other on YouTube very quickly, but they also dump each other like hotcakes very quickly, and then start treating each other with absolute hatred and contempt very quickly. It's kind of like accelerated relationships. It's so weird. There's so many aspects of YouTube I found very strange. I would love to study the psychology of YouTube with a qualified psychologist, but I think sometimes us little subs, just what we observe is kind of the psychology of it, right? But yeah, how fleeting and how fickle the friendships are. And if we all went back to a 3-hour live from the start of the year, just picked one of the big creators and looked at who was in chat, and then fast forwarded to that same creator now and looked at who's in chat, for the vast majority, the chat would be made up of very different groups of people. They're all flip-flopping all over the place. I don't care. People can flip-flop if that's what they want to do, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's communities now on YouTube that are strong, and, you know, they're all solidarity for our group, and yet at the start of the year, these very same people all hated each other's guts, and they do hate. That's another thing that's weird about YouTube. The only thing I hate is the word hate, and on YouTube you see people that actually hate each other. How can you feel that intensely about somebody online who's only showing you a fraction of who they are? Blows my mind. Don't get me wrong, people on YouTube this year have done some really shitty things, and I understand feeling incredibly disappointed about one in particular, and horrified and surprised, but I still can't say I hate him. I might hate some of the things that he did, even though I still wouldn't even use that word there. I'd say I don't like what he did, but you know what I'm saying? But there's hatred. And it's not just YouTube, I might point out. It's social media. I mean, fucking Facebook has been fight book for a decade. All these little keyboard warriors who are so tough online, and half of them wouldn't, you know, say a word in the flesh to that person, to their face. But the level of hatred and how freely that word is thrown around, that's another thing that's really surprised me about YouTube. Not used to hearing people use that word every day, talking about people online. It's so cool. People are agreeing, saying they agree with me, and I've got no fucking idea what I was talking about or when, but you know, thank you. Thank you, Blue Topaz and Beth. You just learned this year there is even drama in the baby reborn communities. Yeah, I learned that too. And also, I'm pretty sure the crochet community had, it might just be the craft community, the crochet community maybe, let's just say the craft. There is a craft community that has had hardcore doxing, cop calling, online bullying, cyber harassment, all that sort of shit going on in it for years. I learned that this year too. Not because I was watching a crochet live or anything like that. It just is information that I've stumbled across. Mind-blowing. But then, you know, maybe on the Smooth Criminal podcast one week I can do, the theme can be crochet hook as a murder weapon. I'm sure it's been used many times. Which, speaking of, today I have to go and record my podcast that gets uploaded tomorrow. If you're not following it, Google Smooth Criminal Podcast into the YouTube search bar and subscribe, please. I'd love you to start listening to my podcast. It's only taken 8 weeks for me to sound relatively natural and not like I'm reading a script. We're getting there. But I'm really enjoying it, and I really want you guys, if you do follow me on YouTube, to flick suggestions my way for topics. I've got a listener suggestion tomorrow, and nearly every episode actually has been a suggestion from a listener, and then I research the subject for the week, write the script, record it, edit it, insert sound effects and music, and upload it. So I've learned how to build my own podcast this year, and I've really enjoyed that. Blue Topaz, yes, people should mod for the host and channel only. Put any absolutely, Blue Topaz, absolutely. It just blows my mind. You know, I'm assuming a creator gives someone a wrench because they need one. I mean, I gave people wrenches on my channel right at the start just for my own amusement and their amusement, because those of you who have watched me, even though I'm a regular and don't go live all that often, you'd know that, you know, I'm actually okay with trolls saying stupid stuff. If it gives me an opportunity to come up with a wishy one-liner, I'll go for it. The only thing I've ever really had an issue with from the start was somebody coming into my channel going, I think so-and-so creator sucks balls. I've stopped that, because it's kind of like, I've never wanted my platform to be the let's gossip about other creators platform. Just out of respect, because, you know, I have beautiful friends on YouTube who can't stand people I enjoy watching, and then there's people I think are fucking mega wankers on YouTube that other people I'm friends with love, you know, and that goes back to that menu thing. Like, I'm never going to order olive tapenade, but if my mate sitting opposite me loves it and wants it, good on him. That's the beauty of having our own brains and choosing what we like and what we don't like. So that's the only thing I really, with mods, was more in case people started to talk about creators and subs, and, you know, and that was partly because I got caught up in a bit of a drama at the start of the year. And, you know, out of respect for the person I'd been modding for, I didn't want my channel for people to come in and start talking about what was going on. Because because it's not, I've never wanted my channel to be a gossip channel. And that's the thing, I think the drama channels need to rename themselves gossip channels, because, you know, the shit we see on YouTube ain't no drama. It's not like we're watching an episode of The Crown when we watch people on YouTube bitching about other people, is it? You know? I think they've kind of taken the word drama and given it its own new definition, and it ain't no drama. Don't get me wrong, a bit of feisty bitching between women when they go live and the high-pitched squealing. How bad is that too? The channels that start, you know, that have panels and they all start screaming. It's like, I don't want these banshees in my home. Get the fuck out. I'd rather listen to death metal, and I fucking hate death metal. Oh, I just said the word hate. I have started using the word hate because of YouTube. I'm trying really hard to not. I intensely dislike death metal, and I'm talking that kind of music, if you can even call it music. So come on, Groovers, share with me what you guys are, what's YouTube taught you this year? Yes, Dover, it's true, isn't it? You know, a lot of people are very ill, and it's our only form of socialising. And, you know, for a little while there, that was my story this year. YouTube was my conduit to the outside world, and I think it's amazing that this platform and other platforms exist for people who are housebound, you know, and people who are ill and terminally ill and you know, heavily disabled. If this is how they have contact with the outside world, I think that's cool. I really do. I fully understand that. But I also think, you know, don't we all then owe a duty of care to people that are primarily housebound and relying on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, as their social contact? Don't we owe a duty to them to present to them what we're able to do, because we can leave our homes, and show them positive things and experiences so they can vicariously live through us? Like, even if they're now just tuning into me and we're sitting at the beach and they're bedbound in hospital or at home, like, isn't there a duty for those of us who are able to leave our homes to live our best lives for those who can't? Because that's how I feel. I feel the same when I lose friends, like, you know, Julie and Lou this year when they've died. Their thirst for life and their love of travel and food and catching up with people, all those things, after they die, you're like, I've got to rekindle this level of activity that I used to have and stop you know, I don't want to cut the online shit off completely. But when you lose someone you love, don't any of you feel like you've got to kick yourself up the bum and make a bit more of your life because they don't have a life anymore? That's how I feel. I think we do owe a duty of care to live our best lives. If we are able to get out of the house and walk on a beautiful beach, or swim in a waterfall, or go hiking up on a mountain, or take people to a music festival, or whatever we do, like, we've got the opportunity to put people that are stuck at home in our worlds, and they can experience it with us. I'm hoping in 2020 more creators do that. More creators start thinking about ways they can share some of their worlds with people whose worlds are very much confined to their homes or their hospital rooms. Imagine how fantastic. Wouldn't you just love, there's so many creators that I'm like, I'd really like to see them, you know, even just sit out in their garden and see the birds in the garden and the flowers, and, you know, like, I like the creators who take us on little adventures. And to be honest, I think the most positive comments I get from my channel are things like this, or when I used to take everyone for drives in the car until I broke my phone and my phone bracket doing that. Australian dashboards get very, very hot in summer. Not good for driving long distances, filming where you're going and stuff. Renee. It's crazy when people act so civil and next thing you know they are so vile towards each other. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Again, it's that fickleness of YouTube. How they're so strong, feel so strongly in a positive way for people, and how quickly that flips and they can't stand them. I don't know, you know, you hear people talking about contrived drama and they all plot and plan and decide to do these fights because they're more entertaining and it boosts their numbers and the money that they make. And maybe some creators are motivated by that, but I don't even think about that. I just like hanging out with people, sharing shit. There's no harm in flicking on go live when you're on the beach. I mean, I love walking on this beach. Quite often I'm down here. I mean, in summer I'm here on the beach all day, but you know, sometimes I'll be down first thing in the morning and then I get down again when I get home from work, and then I do a late one before the sun sets because we have the sun here till 10 o'clock at night in summer. It's amazing. But why not take some people with you for a stroll, chat about shit? For me, 2020, I just want my channel to stay cute and happy, and I guess talking about this stuff now is, you know, it's shed all that crap and head into a new year without taking it with me. And I'm sure there's going to be shitloads of YouTube creators that'll still be crapping on about this stuff in another year, but they won't be getting my viewing time. Kind of over them. So many people doing fun, interesting, quirky things on YouTube. Like the video I watched the other day on how to open macadamia nuts. You know those pool worms, or what do they call, pool snakes, pool tubes? The sort of plasticky noodles, pool noodles. You cut a bit of the end of a pool noodle off and you stick the macadamia nut in the hole, and then you hit it with your hammer and the nut doesn't go flying. Because if any of you have ever tried to open a macadamia, you'll know how hard they are. They're like marbles. But yeah, chuck them in a little end of a pool noodle, whack them with a hammer, and g'day. Oh, I'm going to start doing some how-to videos. And I also watched a really cool how-to video on how to put up blinds the other day, and it was hilarious because the guy didn't actually know how to do it, and he did it really badly and put them up upside down and back to front or something. Blue Topaz. I've always said as a psychology student, yo, I agree, Blue Topaz, for sure. I'm speaking facts. Thank you, Dover. Exactly. Hate's a really bad word, isn't it? My mum used to say to us when we were little, there's no such thing as hate. And I used to say, well, it's in the dictionary. And she'd go, it doesn't matter, there's no such thing. And the same as there's no such thing as can't. Not cunt, can't. Did any of your parents say that? Well, I can't do this, Mum. There's no such thing as can't. Hello, it's all right. Friendly puppers. It is overwhelmingly toxic, Shanna. That is a great way to describe it. It is toxic. But I also think in toxic sludge, there might always be a little diamond in the bottom. And I think I've found a few diamonds, so I'm happy. You know I'm not an asshat, mate. I only watch a few channels. Oh, Kylie, thank you, darling girl. And no, I can be an asshat. But I think you can also be blocked without being one, you know what I mean? I think that was what my point was earlier on, was that you don't really have to do much to be harassed by people on YouTube. And that's why I block, because it affected me. And it may not affect, some people would just be like, whatever, you moody bitches. But I'm not like that. I'm like, I don't need people that I used to care about who I haven't done anything to, and I swear to God have done nothing to. I got pretty much dumped by a shitload of people I thought were friends in one hit. I don't need to be affected by their nastiness, so I block them, and then I get given shit for blocking them. Well, okay then, I'll unblock you and just sit there watching you being assholes about me? Sure, that makes sense. Like, fuck off. There's hundreds of thousands of people on YouTube. Why the fuck do I want to unblock people that are targeting me? It just makes no sense. I'm inspired to try and... I don't want to block 3,000 people. Poor Judy Ron. The fact that he's got 3,000 blocks shows how much harassing and harassment he's copped. What the fuck is wrong with people? Can everyone just go into 20 going, look, you're not my cup of tea, but I'm going to leave you be. That's it. Think about all the hours some of these fuckers have gone live that if they had the education or the understanding, who could be working on cures for cancer or volunteering in their community, helping people who need fucking help. It's another thing that I guess that YouTube's made me realise is what a time-sapping waste it is at times. And I just think, God, you guys could be actually making a difference in your community, you know. You could be cleaning up beaches. You could be doing what I'm doing, which is an adult literacy and numeracy tutoring course. So next year I can help illiterate adults and children learn to spell and read and write so that they've got a chance at a decent future. You know, like you could be walking an old lady's dogs because she's not able to get out of the house anymore. You could be picking up groceries and dropping them off to someone who's housebound. Like, it just blows my mind. Collectively, if we added up all the hours these fuckers have been on live bitching, imagine the differences they could be making in their community or for the planet. And I know the cure for cancer is extreme, but there's educated people on YouTube. Shitloads of educated people. And you kind of think, I get it's an outlet, but, you know, so's masturbating, but you don't do that for 7 hours straight. Know what I mean? See, I can be an arsehat. I just choose an analogy. I just compared 7-hour lives on YouTube to masturbating. Jesus Christ. I really should head home and work on this podcast. I don't want to, though. It's so beautiful down here. There's so many people down here. It's lovely. School holidays here now, summer holidays. I think this might be the last week of school for the private schools, but the public schools are already on break, I think. I'm going to try and catch up again because I feel like Shanna works way too hard. Oh, thank you for putting the link for the Smooth Criminal podcast. Planet Sunshine, I got someone on Fiverr to do the logo. And I got him to do my logo for this channel as well. If you want to flick me an email, I can dig out his details. I think on Smooth Criminal Podcast he should be credited at the bottom of the blurb under any episode. But I've got a feeling I might have copy-pasted the wrong one the last time I did it because my website changed. The podcast network that I was on, Pippa, which I absolutely loved, got bought out by Acast, and I'm over the moon. If you have a look at the Acast website, my daggy little podcast is like on the website now with some of the best podcasts in the world. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Not that it means mine's going to take over the world or anything, but it's like, yeah, I'm in good company, good podcasting company. This is exciting. But yeah, I think I've credited him somewhere. It's a dude that I found on Fiverr. He's in India. And I pretty much I had to give him the Apple Podcast dimensions for my logos because they're the only platform that my podcast integrates onto that are very precise about their dimensions, and just describe what I wanted. And yeah, he sent me quite a lot of, you know, like I've got some transparent ones and all sorts of shit. There's sort of black and white versions, some with white backgrounds and black handcuffs and vice versa. So yeah, but feel free to flick me an email if you want, and I can send it to you, or when I upload the podcast today that goes live tomorrow at 7:30 in the morning Aussie time, I'll make sure that the reference to him is in the blurb if it's not already. Oh, you've sub Blue Topaz, cool, woohoo, thank you. Repetitive shit shows. That's what we should put out a YouTube album for 2019 called Repetitive Shit Shows. Track 1. So-and-so versus so-and-so. Track 2. Oh, Shanna, so true. Open your eyes and close your wallet. Yep. Isn't it ironic? Me putting $10 into the pocket of a channel creator that another one didn't like led to the downfall of me. Oh, yes. That's what friendships are worth on YouTube, people. $10. Okay, Beth M says, be careful what you share online. That's what you've learned. Yep. Serenity B. Hello, beautiful. I love Serenity B's name. So fucking cute, Serenity B. Dover gets to travel the world from... Exactly. YouTube's taught you a lot of new recipes. That's awesome, Planet Sunshine. I'm going to be cranking up the Shitty Kitty Kitchen in 2020. Once a week there will be a Shitty Kitty Kitchen session uploaded on this channel where I'll be doing... super healthy kind of recipes that are really easy to make, because, you know, there's great ways now for us to eat our greens that are tasty and, you know, it's not rabbit food anymore. But I'm also going to be doing little how-to vignettes on basic things like how to boil the perfect hard-boiled egg, soft-boiled egg, scrambled eggs, you know, all the basics, make a hollandaise sauce, how to open macadamia nuts, all that kind of stuff. So there'll be 2 little videos a week, and I have spent my lifetime sourcing recipes. I used to have a food website and it is no longer in existence, which breaks my heart because it was 4 years of much love went into it. But I really miss doing my cooking stuff, and yeah, I kind of feel like I've sourced recipes for everyone. I might as well share them because I seriously do have the most incredible collection of the best of everything. So like, I've tried 500 different ways to do roast chicken, and now I just do the same way every time because I found what I think is the perfect recipe, you know. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that stuff. Smooth Criminal, I will be doing more. Obviously I've got my weekly podcast, but true crime stuff, not to the extent of the serious true crime community, but I will be following a case. Unfortunately, Brenton Estorff's case, there have been any updates at all since he was shot and killed by the intruders, and I can go live and play his wife's 9/11 call, but I really don't want to. It's pretty distressing, but yeah, there's no news on that at all, which is incredibly sad for his family, heading into Christmas and they still don't know who killed their husband and father. But yes, I'll do, you know, any crimey kind of stuff like the Cheryl and Cattle review I did the other night of her ridiculously appalling pile of shit book. That kind of stuff will normally go over to Smooth Criminal as well. Anything with a criminal kind of bent. And then the other thing is I'm going to go back to doing the fuck off apron stuff, you know, the fuck topics. I'll be doing them once a week as a discussion topic. That's coming back. I pick up today from the post office and I'm so excited. My I get a curation journal every year where I curate my life, everything from how much water I'm drinking to, you know, appointments that I've got and all that sort of shit. And my curation diary this year just got abandoned because my life turned very strange. So I'm making a, you know, pact to stick to it this time around and scheduling in all my creative outlets that I really enjoy. So yeah, that's some of the stuff I'll be doing. This year I had all the intentions in the world to do it, but a lot of stuff happened this year, and sometimes life gets in the way, and you know, what is it, life happens while you're busy making plans. I stopped making plans and just dealt with life, and no regrets. But next year I want to have a planned life that will keep me busy. And yeah, YouTube will still be part of it, but so much better controlled and managed than this year. This year's been crazy. And yeah, true, Kylie, you know, it should be entertaining, and that's the thing, let's make it entertaining. I really have no issue leaving some of the stuff that has occupied a lot of my time in YouTube listening, because I listen to YouTube when I'm on long car drives, when I travel, but I'm quite happy to leave a lot of them behind, because at the end of the day, they're not making my life better, they're not enhancing it. And you know, if you're trying to be a minimalist like I am, everything in your home, does this have any value? Does it bring me any joy? Well, I look at YouTube the same way now. Just because I might like a creator and find them interesting to listen to, doesn't necessarily mean I have to listen to every fucking live they do, especially if they're talking about shit I don't care about, like other creators. So yeah, we should all minimalize on YouTube as well. But I also understand why we all got gripped this year by everything that's happened, because it was our fucking community, right? That Oni stuff to this day, who would have thunk it? But I'm quite happy to hang out with happy crochet people next year. I hope you know what I'm saying, but yeah, wow. I still don't even know how I ended up in this community in the first place. I mean, I don't regret it, but it blows my mind I'm in it. Oh, Kylie, that's a big year for your boy. How exciting. Blue Topaz, I've learnt there are a lot of sick, mentally unwell people on YouTube. However, a lot of bitter people too. I've been surprised how many people judge you without truly knowing you, and how many adults are sheep. Yep, I hear you, especially on how quickly you're judged, and also the sheeple. Yeah, it blows my mind. Shanna Banana, there's definitely a mob mentality, and when you walk away from it, they chase you around in other channels, throw jabs, for the simple reason you chose to walk away from the toxic cycle. I hear you, sister. I hear. And I'm glad that you walked away, and I did too. Because the thing is, I guess, the little bit of shit I've copped lately for daring to be in a live that they're in as well, even though it's got nothing to do with the creator they're modding for. How dare I be in there? It just makes me realise walking away from that crew was the best thing I ever did. And that's not to say there weren't people in the group that I no longer communicate with who at one point in time meant a lot to me. There was certainly a grieving process, but seeing the carry on a year later, and yeah, me just speaking in a chat warrants googly eyes and everyone bitching about me. Get fucked. Fuck off. Move on. Seriously, if you're still clinging on to shit from a year ago because you had a bit of a fallout with a couple of people on YouTube, or you witnessed a fallout and you chose to dump one side, that's your fucking issue. Don't give me shit when I go into a channel and want to participate with people I've been supporting for the year that you used to hate, and now suddenly you're infiltrating their chat and you think it's your place to make me feel uncomfortable. Go fuck yourselves. Alright, I'm gonna walk. That's Tori at her most dramatic. Gosh, it's nice down here, but I'm getting so hungry. I'm getting hungry. Grown women, mothers and grandmothers behaving like middle school. Exactly, Shanna. See, look, Dover's listening while cleaning. She's got the right idea. Blue Topaz, it's truly shocked me. Can't believe the amount of grown adults don't think for themselves, just follow others. Yeah, I know. It is bizarre. And Blue Topaz, I mean, you're a Kiwi and you guys are so similar to Australians. I mean, you're different in some respects too. Don't worry, I'm not saying we're identical culturally or anything like that, but we can't be fucked. All my Kiwi friends and I are the same in terms of, you know, I don't think Aussies and Kiwis would even think to do the shit. Like, are there really any Australian channels that do 7-hour lives just bitching about other YouTubers? Or any New Zealand ones? I don't think there are. We can't be fucked. I thought about creating OzTube, and just putting like Anzac Tube or something, and just but I mean, even with our own Aussie and New Zealand communities, there's Fruit Loops as well. Everyone's fucking batshit crazy on YouTube, which made me question how I ended up on it too. And I kind of think that maybe I am batshit crazy as well, but I felt pretty sane before YouTube. I don't know if YouTube makes us all go batshit crazy, or if everyone was batshit crazy when they first rocked up. What do you guys think about that? Is YouTube a magnet that just attracts all the batshit crazy people from around the world? Or did we all arrive on YouTube sane, rational, realistic, decent human beings, and because of YouTube we're all batshit crazy? Or, I mean, half of the people on YouTube batshit crazy and the other people aren't, just watching on in horror. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to think it's the last option. I'd like to think some people on YouTube, including me, are relatively sane. But it's certainly a mind fuck. It's made me question so many things, and I don't get many answers when I question shit. So I've just ended up in this confused state. I'm kind of bewildered, confused, shocked, appalled, horrified, and highly entertained. And then in the midst of all of that, I've met some absolutely beautiful human beings. Is that how everyone else feels about YouTube? I mean, I feel like it's talking about it, walking on the beach right now, I feel drunk. It kind of makes you get a bit delirious when you start actually discussing it out loud. And also, here's another thing I've learnt about from YouTube. If you're really into YouTube and you spend your time that you know, normally I'd be listening to music or whatever, but if you're really into YouTube, like we all are, do you talk to your real life friends and family about your YouTube fascination? Because I sure as shit don't. I've tried to, only a couple of times, and just the looks on the faces of like my sister and a couple of my friends when I've started to talk about YouTube, I've just shut the fuck up and gone, okay, I'm not talking about it. They look at you like you're insane. Has anyone else had that experience? It's just like, it's kind of like it's a dirty little secret as well. There's another aspect of YouTube. You can't really, it's not like you can say, hey, check out my new surfboard, and suddenly everyone that's got that same surfboard, you're all kind of in a happy little clique and you all talk about the surfboard. And then there might be a couple of people that don't have the surfboard yet, but they can still hang in the gang with the people who've got them, because one day they're going to have them too, right? So you kind of you've got this common link. Or if my sister rocked up and said she's really passionate about, I don't know, she's not, but if she said, oh, I'm doing a mosaic course and I'm making a table, I'd be interested and I'd want to chat to her about it. But when I've tried to talk to people about YouTube, they just look at me like I'm a complete nutter. So don't bother. It's not, people are either into it or they're not, and the ones that aren't, you just don't talk to them about it. It's like Fight Club. The first rule of YouTube, don't talk about YouTube to anyone who doesn't give a fuck about YouTube. I'm curious to see if anyone's had the same experience. I'll flick right. Oh God, I'm so far behind in chat. Oh, Tanny's arrived. How gorgeous. Yeah, it's your oh, Blue Topaz. You use Blue Topaz. You do the googly eyes, you bitch. That's the same with us, Blue Topaz. That's why I was making that kind of Oh, Kim Smith, hello. Hi, beautiful. Merry Christmas to you, gorgeous. Actually, I don't have one of your daughter's scrunchies in my hair at the moment. I do have a scrunchie in my hair, but it's not one of your daughter's ones, because I needed a blue one. I'm sorry, I'm cheating. My hair is cheating on your daughter's scrunchies with another scrunchie. But hello, beautiful. Merry Christmas to you. Tanya, I reckon it must be your end, the buffering. I hate that googly eye emoji. I hate that. I hate that. Again, that's a part of YouTube, the toxic part of YouTube that really shits me. It's like, you know, someone's in chat and they spot someone that their YouTube friends don't like, so they do the little googly eyes so everyone scrolls up to see, oh look, fuckface is in here. I can't stand the googly eyes. I get the googly eyes. That's why I block the people who gave me the googly eyes, because I don't like them. But yeah, the fact that, another thing that YouTube has taught us, you can't talk to anyone about YouTube unless they're on YouTube. Whereas I've got to be caught up in the surfboard analogy. It wasn't really what I was trying to say. The point was, anyone in your life that has some interest, something that they're into, when you catch up with them and they're chatting to you about it, you can support them and be excited for them. But when you start talking to someone about YouTube, yeah, it's best they just not included in any conversations about it. I don't like seeing my sister looking at me like I'm an unhinged lunatic, you know what I mean? Now, is this Bazza or is this Shazza? It's Bazza. Shazza's up there in the skies. She's coming along. Here she comes. There she goes. Shazza, your mole. Stop playing hard to get with Bazza. Mind you, if I told my sister... Oh my God, hang on. There's a third one. Right, okay. I think Bazza has a new girlfriend. Uh-oh. Oh my... Oh. Yep. There's a bit of fighting going on. This one here, let's call him Dazza, is trying to get in sweet with Shazza. But so far she's still hanging out with Bazza. That's another thing that YouTube's taught me. You can make a whole relationship story about seagulls on the beach, and a year later it's still filler when you go live. How fucking magical is that? Seagull love. Serenity B, you don't owe me anything. Your company is worth its weight in gold. I'm the one who's lucky. Tanny, have you tried to walk through a fly screen door or something today? What? Oh my God. You seriously, your channel should just be about your mishaps every day. And you should call it accidental comedy. I mean, you know I love you, but holy shit. The stuff you do every day, it is pretty entertaining. And you laugh at it too, so that makes it even funnier. Yeah, Kylie, there's no way to explain the characters on the YouTube. The tubes are crazy and they're not so crazy. So lovely that you're here, Kim Smith. Blue Topaz. One great thing. Here we go on YouTube. You've met a New Zealand guy. We talk every day. So, ooh. Sometimes up to 12 hours. Ooh. Love is in the air. That's awesome. Tanny, I would only use that emoji as a symbol of duck for cover in a funny way. Oh, you mean like the eyes? Blue Topaz uses it to say I see you to a friend. Oh, okay, it's your joke, right. I know, Shazza the mole. That's interesting. See, people putting emojis up for different reasons, because in the little group from whence I fled, the little eye sign was used to alert the other people in our little group that there was somebody controversial in chat, or more importantly, someone in the group didn't like. And then it would make people scroll up and see who that supposed horrible person was. It was a way of alerting the masses in the group to the presence of somebody unpleasant or unsavoury. So now when it's used, because I'm in chat, and I didn't like it back when I was in that group and didn't use it, but now that I'm not in that group and they're doing it about me, I'm like, really? Does it warrant this? Nope. Did it bother me? Yep. So I fucking blocked them. Because I don't need that bad chi, right? I don't want it. It's not because I hate them. I really actually don't give a flying fuck about them, but their actions do affect me because I'm sensitive. And at the end of the day, whoopee-doo, I'm in chat. You know, you can ignore people in chat. I do it all the time. So yes, I utilise the block button. Why? Because I can't be fucked. I have no fucks to give, and it does impact on me emotionally. Not to the point that I can't function or anything, but I'm momentarily saddened that I am now the recipient of that shit. But I don't have the energy to give a fuck about them. They're not making my life better having them in it, so I block them. Taking a leaf out of Judy Ron's book, the guy's got over 3,000 people blocked. That's winning. No wonder he's always in a good mood, because he doesn't have to put up with or see all the bullshit that flies around on the YouTubes on the daily. You know what I'm saying? But when other people are using it, I must admit I don't really pay that much attention. I guess it's just, you know, some minor PTSD from a former YouTube world I mingled in. It is the intent behind them. I know Tori would have blocked me. Oh, no, I wouldn't have, honey bunny. No. Hi and bye, Blue Topaz. What? Who's going? Oh, Serenity B. Back to work, beautiful. Thanks for sharing this gorgeous Tassie day. And yes, there are people swimming now without wetsuits on. Summer is arriving. Woo! But no, Blue Topaz, I wouldn't have blocked you, because if I saw you doing it, I wouldn't go, oh my God, that's about me. I'm not that self-centered. I just know that when it's done, and some former online friends of mine are doing it, then yeah, I just chose not to be able to see them in chat anymore, because they're not enhancing my life in any way. And there are shitloads of people in my life that wouldn't be affected by seeing that sort of stuff, but that's not me. Like I said, it doesn't cripple me so I can't function, but it's just a moment of, really? What did I do to you guys? Absolutely nothing. Whatever. And then I block them. That's just what you do. I mean, I was so fucking not fussed by shit from a year ago that I had a mod that in this channel that was a mod in that group who was using the googly eyes on me only a week ago, and I didn't even realise she was still a mod, and I really didn't give a flying fuck. If she'd come in and said g'day with a wrench, I would have been like, g'day. That would have been it. It took me ages to even find my mod list and block list on my channel. I don't give a shit. But for next year, if there's this sort of shit still popping up, seriously, get a fucking life. There's way more interesting people online that are actually saying shitty things about the people you care about that are worth harassing, I guess, if you think so. But get a life. Get offline. Pay it forward. Do something nice for somebody. Volunteer in your community. Fucking get a life. And don't worry, I'm not saying that to everyone. I understand some people are housebound, but these people aren't housebound. These people are fully functioning adults with children that they take to school every day. They can get out and help their community a little bit, you know? Tony, I'm sensitive too, so if someone says something that's not nice about me, block. Yep. If you can't see it, it doesn't affect you. Correct. Out of sight, out of mind. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so much easier, you know? Like, at the end of the day, what you don't know won't hurt you. And it's not that it matters. Like, if somebody said something about me in a chat, and they don't, because I'm not, I mean, I just try to make people laugh. I'm a bit of a wanker, that's about it. But if somebody asked me a question that I legitimately felt I needed to respond to, sure I would. But when it's just a pack of mean girls just being mean girls, I don't give a fuck. I wouldn't hang out with them in my real life, so why the fuck would I want to see their crap online? And I'm not watching YouTube creators because of the bitchiness going on in chat. I've usually got a channel on because I want to hear what the creator's talking about. Sometimes I'll get on the computer and, you know, sit there and comment for a while, but a lot of the time now I just listen. Because if you are sitting at your computer watching it and you see shit going on in chat, even if it's not about you, if it's about anyone, it's just like, really? Can't we all just agree to disagree and move on? Can't we just see the beauty in everyone and move on? G'day, Mel. Tanny. If you could only see me now, not only do I look ridiculous, my house is filling with flies. Oh my God, Tanny. Did you smash the screen with your face or something? Like, have you messaged me the story of how you murdered your fly screen? Should just be the adventures of Tanny Mitchell. And every day just show us what you've done at home. Just do what you send me every day. Just share your stories to a wider audience. I think it'd be a hit. That's the thing. One thing I think Australians and New Zealanders really with YouTube, you know, taking the piss out of ourselves is such a natural state of mind for us. Maybe it's just not a natural state of mind for other people, because the Americans don't really seem to. Some of them do sometimes, but self-deprecating humour is not really a strong point for them. And again, this whole cop calling shit, and I think if people could laugh at themselves a little bit more, a lot of this stuff would stop, don't you? Because why is it not happening in countries like Australia and New Zealand? And I'm not just talking on YouTube, just generally. But it's happening all the time on YouTube with Americans. Is it because self-deprecating humour isn't as much of a part of their psyche as it is ours? So they can't take the piss out of themselves. They take themselves so seriously that calling the cops is a natural progression when you're feeling like you've defended yourself so many times and nobody's listening. I don't know. I can tell you right now, when I first met the world of YouTube, I didn't expect half the shit I've seen. I didn't expect any of it. I just thought, oh, this live thing's cool. Someone can be chatting live and you can go in and say g'day and chat with them. That's really cool. It's a bit like back when 9MSN introduced the original Messenger and how exciting that was. We're all sort of in these live chat rooms. You know, well, this is a bit of an advancement from the how-to videos, the live music videos, and the occasional wacky animal video. Never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined what I have seen, what I've experienced. I mean, none of us could have written this shit. The greatest novelist in the world couldn't have conjured this crap up. Mind-blowing. Some of these little kids are getting quite proficient on their boards already. They've got a yellow top on their instructors, so don't get excited if suddenly there's yellow tops all catching waves. All the blue tops are the students. Tanny is stupidly balancing off her chair to type after putting your grandson's camping seat against your door to keep it open. Right, and that's letting in the flies. Oh, my Fraze, hello. Hello, beautiful. We got to find you a new name. Yeah, we don't like hurting each other as a joke, Blue Tape. Has it? You're right. And yeah, the self-deprecating humour just doesn't seem to be as prolific. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some creators that do really stupid things and take the piss out of themselves. Oh, yeah, wow, how stupid I was just then. I was so stupid. But they're not like, it's not a predominant feature in their psyche at all. Whereas it's kind of all we do, right? Tanny, my God, so you're letting the air raisins in. See, I like watching, or listening actually, I don't watch it a lot, but I love listening to The Truth because she has said some of the funniest fucking things when she's not doing her, the bitchy stuff I don't care about with anyone, although I must admit, if she's having a bitch, she's still fucking hilarious, but my God, she actually makes me laugh out loud, and irrespective of what side people belong to on YouTube, or who is in her chat, if you're going for a drive and you put her on, I guarantee you she will make you laugh out loud. Even the names of the people who troll her are fucking hilarious. But she taught me air raisins, which is what she calls flies. So Tanny, it sounds like you've got a house full of air raisins. Cunts everywhere, so true. Isn't that the Buzz Lightyear, one of his, they use that Buzz Lightyear picture for lots of everywheres, and I'm sure there's a cunts everywhere one. I know, we've got to give old my Fra a new name. Oh, no, we're just talking about 2019 and what YouTube has taught us. And I'm about to wrap up, actually. I'm going to go up to my house and make myself some lunch and see what Biscuit's up to and finish the script for my podcast and then record and edit it. Although the way the weather is, I'll probably do that maybe tonight. Little helicopter flying over at the moment. And I'll definitely be down on the beach again by the end of the day. I seem to be doing 3 beach walks a day at the moment, which is really nice. So, just talking about the things that we've learnt from YouTube this year and just some people being way too serious and taking it all way too seriously, and others trying to lighten the mood and kind of realising that it's not pointless, but the lack of independent thinking really bothers me about YouTube. That's the one thing I struggle with a lot, the blind loyalty, and can still be really loyal to someone but not like something they've done, or you can still be really loyal to someone but disagree with some of their opinions. But it seems on YouTube that if you're loyal to someone and then they do or say one thing you don't like, that's the time that you drop them completely. It's so fickle, so fickle. Yeah, I think we should all write it off, old Mafra. It's been a shitter for everyone. You were having a crap Melmo. Did you honestly just say that? Well, I guess now that Oni's not on YouTube anymore, someone else needs to start talking about taking a shit, so I might as well be you, right? I actually had a thought about that today with Oni when he used to burp and fart and take a shit. Like, the first 3 times he'd say that, it was like, that's funny, but then it was like every time he was live, it was like, come on, dude. I mean, but I still enjoyed watching him, but it was kind of like, can we give the bowel movements a bit of privacy? Do we need to know about it all the time? But yeah, if you're the new shitter on Good Girl, you wash your hands. It has opened everyone's eyes. I don't think anyone has had a year on YouTube where their eyes haven't been opened at something. Gosh, it's nice down here. I wish I had my bathers. I'd go for a swim. But yeah, I might tackle the sand dunes and go and make myself some lunch, and I might actually do some repotting of some things out on my deck, actually, because it's nice weather. I've got people coming to stay across the next few weeks over summer. And I've got lots of things to do. I've got to clean the bathroom. I've got a lot of stuff to do inside, but it's such a nice day. So I might, I've already done the tip run and got rid of all the boxes that I've flattened that were under the house, waiting to be flattened and taken to the recycling centre. And maybe I'll do a bit of gardening. Pretty low-key gardening. But yeah, I don't like being indoors when the weather's like this. Blue Topaz, I never liked Oni. He was disgusting. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like him at all. You feel like vomiting. Josh has a feeling. Has a feeling. And that makes you feel sick. I can't imagine what it's like to be a mum when your kids are in pain and stuff like that. There's something. I mean, I obviously feel pain and sadness for my nieces and nephews when they've got stuff going on, but I think when it's your own child, the thought of them being traumatised, for example, and I'm assuming that's what's going on for you, Mel, that would be horrible. And also just the fact that when you have kids, you worry about them till the day you die. I mean, my mum told me that on her deathbed. She's like, you're still my baby and I still worry about you. I mean, I was early 30s, but Omar Fra, thinking of a name still relating to Omar Fraze. Something unrelated now. Yeah, no, I mean, that's another thing we all learned, isn't it, Omar Fra? When we all met on YouTube, most of us had full names. I mean, I don't care that people still know what my full name is. I don't care, but there again, I mean, Australians, we weren't worried about being doxxed. Like, it just didn't cross our minds. We were all on there with our full names. Certain people still are. But I mean, I didn't change my name for that reason, because it was already out there. But again, it just shows, you know, that mindset. Like, we just didn't. And you see people in chat now, oh, make sure you lock down all your things and never use your real name first or last, and don't do this. And it's like, oh, I can't live like that. If someone finds out information about me, I mean, it's so much information about me anyway. But, you know, what are they going to do, really? I mean, in the words of Anthony Jeselnik, he says in one of his comedy routines, you know, if someone murdered him because of one of his jokes, like, that'd be the best way to go, right? You'd become a legend. You'd never be forgotten in the comedy community if someone murdered you because they didn't find your joke funny. So, and fuck it, guys. At least if I was murdered, everyone might stop talking about fucking Christopher Watts. And on that note, I hope you groovers all have a lovely day. Much love to Joey the Veg Wilson, no longer in the chat with us, but yeah, I hope Friday is an easy, well, as easy as it can be, easy day for her, and much love to her. obviously for Joshy. Hope his dental visit isn't too traumatic for his mama. And stay groovy, everyone. I should have just stopped my live when I did that thing about being murdered. Because seriously, I mean, if that happened, I'd think of all the subs I'd get. I'd be monetized overnight. I'm kidding. I don't give a fuck. I just give a fuck about you guys having places to go on YouTube where we can just chill the fuck out and take the piss out of each other without getting butthurt. And, you know, support each other and be good to each other if we're in the mood for that. And if we're not, who gives a fuck, you know? But if we are, bring it on. So, love to you all, and beer. Yeah, Mel, Joey was here, and I mentioned you and said that we've been asking for a while where she's gone. But yeah, she's here, and unfortunately her brother's funeral is on Friday, so she shared that info with us, but she was really lovely. So if you feel like rewinding this and seeing the start when she was in, it was so fucking good to see her. So good to see her. Group hug, everyone. Take care of yourselves, and let's catch up again soon. Love you guts. Every single one of you. Can't find the stop button. The fuck is it?